So welcome to Unified Pricing Management Overview Tech Talk. My name is Mathieu Bines and I will be moderating this session today. We have a number of presenters as well as a member of our engineering team. Introducing the presenters, in addition to myself, we have Sherry Dane, Principal Product Manager, Adi Vijayashankar, Senior FastTrack Senior Architect, Yam Kerrigan, Senior FastTrack Solution Architect, Menek Shabil, Senior Program Manager ACE, Praveen Jagotra, Senior FastTrack Solution Architect, Tom Isko, Senior FastTrack Solution Architect, and Yuk Jain, FastTrack Solution Architect. So we have a packed agenda today that will be part of a Tech Talk series on Unified Pricing Management. We'll have time at the end for a Q&A session, but I encourage you to use the Q&A panel to ask your question. So we'll cover today what is Unified Pricing Management, the key concepts, the pricing structure, the price attributes, the price groups, the price determination, margins, discounts, charges, rebate, architecture and APIs, some does and don'ts, a focus on the roadmap, and then we'll finish by a Q&A session. Without further ado, over to you, Adi, to kick us off.
Thanks, Matthew. So let me first give an overview of the pricing management. So Unified Pricing Management in Dynamics 365 provides a centralized set of advanced capabilities for managing and executing business-to-consumer and business-to-business sales pricing. With centrally managed pricing, organizations can use a single set of tools in Dynamics 365 to plan, manage, execute, and review pricing across all channels. Unified Pricing Management allows for greater control to ensure your pricing strategy is implemented as intended. Real-time omni-channel calculation ensures consistency of price and discount execution across channels. In addition, a rich set of APIs are provided out of the box for integration. An advanced rule-based engine helps organizations meet pricing complexities and adapt quickly to changing business models with full control using configurable price attributes. Unified Pricing Management in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management is an end-to-end solution helping organizations manage pricing constructs with vendors and customers and control prices, margins, discounts, and charges, as well as manage rebates. In this Tech Talk and throughout the Tech Talk, we will use Contoso Entertainment System as a reference organization to describe the concepts of pricing management and for various demos. So Contoso Entertainment System, they are manufacturing, distributing, and installing home electronic equipment. Contoso has two main distribution channels, B2C, where they sell directly to consumers through physical stores, an e-commerce site, mobile apps, and even a call center. B2B, where they work with wholesale partners, resellers, and a sales team to handle larger business orders. Unified Pricing Management helps Contoso manage competitive and consistent pricing across all these channels. Pricing is driven by a mix of price attributes, so things like channel, customer segment, product categories, loyalty programs, or even order attributes. Using this organization as an example, we will show you how you can manage and execute pricing efficiently. Whether it's running promotions, offering discounts, or adjusting prices for different products or regions, Contoso's pricing stays flexible and scalable. This way, no matter the channel or customer type, the pricing is consistent across all touch points. Now let's go through some of the use cases of Contoso Entertainment System. Contoso Entertainment System would like the sales price of their speakers belonging to techwear brand to be based on the segment of the customer, i.e., is it a retailer or a distributor, etc. In the second use case, they would like sales price of the television sold to customers to be adjusted based on the mode of the delivery, such as truck or air, or based on the region of the customer. An example can be US West Coast or East Coast. In their third use case, Contoso Entertainment System want a special discount of 10% to be provided for television for loyalty customers. And finally, in their last use case, they would like to offer an additional HDMI cable with each television purchased by the customer. So as you can notice, Contoso do not want their pricing strategy to be based on a customer or product or a customer group. They would like the pricing strategy to be based on an attribute defined against the product, such as the product's category or brand, an attribute defined against the customer, such as the customer segment or region, and an attribute defined in the sales order, such as the mode of delivery. So pricing attributes, product, customer, and transaction play a key role in pricing management, and Contoso Entertainment System would like to use all these pricing attributes not only for prices and discounts, but also for charges and rebates. So based on this use case, Contoso Entertainment System has decided to structure the customer price hierarchy in their organization based on segment of the customer they're making the sale to. Example, retail customers for B2C, entertainment customer and distributor for B2B, region of the customer, whether it's East Coast in US or West Coast, customer group such as superstore, air hotel, loyalty, and finally the end customer purchasing the product. And on the product side, Contoso Entertainment System has decided to structure their product hierarchy based on category of the product, brand of the product, and the product that is being sold. And on the attribute side, Contoso Entertainment System has decided to build their order attribute based on method of delivery decided at the time of order creation. This structure of customer, product, and order attributes will help Contoso to define prices, margins, discounts, charges, and rebates, and subsequently execute their pricing strategy. Let's look into how the pricing can be structured in unified pricing. So pricing is constructed using a sequence set of pricing components such as price, margin, discounts, charges, and rebates. You can have more than one pricing structure per legal entity. So in the pricing structure, the price determination logic has been built to make sure that we can have multiple sources for price, and the final price is determined based on priority. The price can be sourced from trade agreement, and if a trade agreement does not exist, base price is applied. This base price can be based on purchase or standard cost of an item or default price specified on the item master. Margin component price adjustment allow for adjustments to the price at the time of order before discounts or charges are applied. There are multiple discount types in pricing management, including simple discount, quantity discount, mix and match discount, threshold discounts, free items, and other features like coupons, funds, and claim. We'll be covering this in more detail in the later part of this presentation. Charges can be applied at the order header level or at the order line level. The charges capability in pricing management builds upon what was previously available in D365 and provides additional functionality by introducing price attributes, date ranges, and combination rank. Rebates can be applied as quantity-based, value-based, or lump sum for a specific period. The rebate management capability in pricing management builds upon what was previously available in D365, and by introducing rebates based on price attribute, it overcomes the constraints imposed by the ability to only select items or groups or all items in earlier version of rebate management. Price attribute can be used across all these price components, and it provides a flexible way for you to define your pricing factors. It leverages information about customers, products, as well as sales order header and lines. Extension points are available for you to extend the price attributes. Price group enables businesses to bundle and rank these attributes together and apply customized pricing strategy more effectively across price, margin, and discount price components. In Dynamics 365 pricing management and throughout this presentation and demo, price component refers to price, margin, discounts, charges, and rebates. These are the building blocks available for your pricing strategy. Let's look into price attributes. Price attributes provide a means to target pricing rules based on information about a customer and or a product. Price attribute can also be transactional, set on a sales order header or line at the time of order. Price attributes can be applied across all levels of the pricing structure, including prices, margin component, price adjustment, discounts, charges, and rebates. Leveraging the customer and product attribute framework, price attributes are highly configurable, allowing organizations greater flexibility when it is needed. So let's see a demo of this scenario where Deborah Garcia, who's a sales manager of Contoso Entertainment System, wants the sales price of speakers belonging to Techwear brand sold to Air Hotel group of customers to be based on the following attributes. The product attributes, which includes product category, so speakers, with product brand Techwear and product, followed by the customer attributes that includes segment, which is entertainment, region, US East Coast or US West Coast, customer group, Air Hotel, and finally the customer. And then we get to order attribute, which is mode of delivery. So what we're aiming to do as part of this demo is showcase where the attributes can be defined on the product and where the attributes can be defined on the customer, how to set up and activate an attribute group for the product customer order combination so that it can be used by Contoso for pricing, discounts, charges, and rebates based on attributes. When we get to the next section on price determination, we'll use these attributes on a sales order. So in Contoso Entertainment System, let's look at the setup of product attributes and customer attributes. So here we have set up an item, Techwear X990 with the product brand as Techwear and the product category as speakers. Now moving on to the customer attribute, they would like to set up the price for the customer belonging to Air Hotel customer group with Air Hotel New York in the East Coast sales group and Air Hotel Los Angeles in the US West Coast sales group. Now that we have decided the price attribute that will be used from the product and the customer master, let's go to the price attribute group form. So the price attribute group form is used to set up the combination of attributes at the product and customer and transaction level that Contoso would like to use in their pricing strategy. In the price attribute group form, we'll have to create price attributes for the sales order header and price attribute for the sales order line. So as you can see, we have two groups. One group created for the header with attributes customer account, customer group, sales group, segment, and mode of delivery. Another group created for the lines with attributes item number, brand, and category. After the group is created for the header attribute and line attribute, you can then choose the header group and the line group combination you would like to use for pricing. So these attribute groups will be used in conjunction with various pricing components in pricing management. So once the attribute groups are created, we will indicate which price component will use them, i.e. should the attribute group be used in trade agreement journal or margins or discounts. So in pricing management, price component code setup form, we will specify the combination of attributes in the header and the lines that trade agreement will be using. Similarly, we can set one up for margin price adjustment. So what was done in the price attribute demo? First, Contoso have decided what attributes they'll be using. What are the attributes in the header that Contoso would like to use in pricing strategy? This can be customer attribute and order attribute, followed by what are the attributes in the line that Contoso would like to use in the pricing strategy. In our scenario, it is product attribute only, but we can also have a transaction attribute at a line level. Then Contoso have decided where the attributes will be used. Contoso would like to use the attributes of the header and line combination to be used in the price component, such as trade agreement or margin adjustment or discount. I will now hand it over to Liam, who will talk about price group functionality in Dynamics 365 pricing management.
Okay, so let's talk about price groups. So price groups allow businesses to logically group pricing header attributes such as channels, loyalty programs, and affiliations. And in the future, we're going to extend this to support line attributes as well. There are just a few of many available pricing attributes that can be bundled into a price group. While price groups are optional, they offer significant strategic flexibility for businesses looking to efficiently adapt to their pricing strategies. So, for example, you can apply a product discount across a group of channels or customer segment to streamline promotions. When it comes to channels, price groups make it easy to tailor specific pricing strategies based on their operational costs or different platforms like, for example, their online stores, physical locations, or mobile apps. Affiliations and loyalty programs provide an additional layer of flexibility by allowing you to offer special pricing to specific groups such as employees or loyalty program members without needing to constantly reconfigure your pricing setup. Okay, so let's break this down even further. So when setting up price groups, you can link it to an attribute group that integrates various pricing attributes such as channels, catalogs, affiliations, customers, loyalty programs, and order header attributes. You have the flexibility to use those attributes individually or in combination with your price group. When setting up a price or margin adjustment through a trade agreement, you can post the journal using the price group, ensuring that the price or adjustment targets all of the attributes associated with your group. This allows businesses to develop more dynamic and targeted pricing strategies with precision. So let's consider a promotional scenario. You're running an online promotion for members of Contoso Rewards program. You could create a price group that bundles the channel attributes and the loyalty program attributes. You can then apply specific offers, such as free item or quantity discounts to this group. This approach ensures that your pricing remains consistent and accurate, regardless of which customer segment or channel is involved, providing a unified experience across all touchpoints. So let's take a closer look at how all the parts of unified pricing comes together to provide a flexible, powerful solution. So first, you'll start with an attribute source table. These could be customer tables, product tables, or sales order tables. From these, you'll pull attributes that matter for your pricing strategy. So for example, for the customer tables, you might pull attributes like customer accounts, customer group, or region. From the product tables, it might be product, brand, or category. And from the sales order tables, it could be channels, affiliations, loyalty programs, order types, delivery, or payment methods. So once you have your attributes defined, the next step is to group and rank them. This is where price attributes groups comes into play. By grouping together attributes like channels, affiliations, loyalty programs, and order types, you create a logical set of conditions that will be used to determine the final price in your trade agreements. So now let's talk about price groups. Price groups are an optional but flexible tool that allows you to go one step further by grouping attribute values and assigning them all from the same screen. So for instance, you can group all channels in a specific region together and apply pricing rules or discounts to them. If the list of channels changes, you can simply amend the list of values in the price group without having to modify individual trade agreements or discount setups. So this gives you the power to manage pricing across multiple scenarios like e-commerce, physical stores, or wholesale without the need to touch the underlying pricing structures. So for example, Contoso can create a price group that combines all attributes like sales channels and customer loyalty programs, allowing them to apply specific discounts such as student discounts or loyalty rewards across multiple locations with just a few clicks. This flexibility ensures that businesses can make quick, broad adjustments, responding rapidly to market changes without disrupting the overall pricing setup. It's a huge advantage for both commerce and SCM users who need to manage promotions, customer-specific pricing, and/or other complex pricing scenarios efficiently. So we're going to get into a demo now. We'll explore how Contoso Entertainment Systems, or CES as I refer to them here, has implemented a channel-specific pricing strategy using unified pricing and price groups. I'll show how the price group configuration is set up, and then Yuki in the second part of the demo will show how the price is being applied. So as a retailer operating across multiple sales channels, CES needs to account for varying operational costs and customer expectations. So here's the scenario. CES is selling a 52-inch LCD HD TV, and they've adjusted the price depending on the sales channel to reflect the differences in costs. So for the online store, CES is offering the TV at $900, which targets cost-sensitive customers. For the in-store channel, the TV is priced at $950, so the in-person shopping experience and higher operational costs is accounted for. So using unified pricing and the flexibility of price groups, CES is able to easily manage these price differences across their channels while keeping the pricing logic consistent. Price groups allow CES to adjust the prices without altering the core trade agreements or discount setup, ensuring that margins are protected across all touch points. You can see in the table on the slide how CES has set up their price groups. The online store group includes a single channel attribute for their e-commerce platform, while the in-store group includes several brick-and-mortar locations. Both groups are linked to the same product, item number 3107, but with different prices assigned on the channel. This setup allows CES to quickly make channel-specific pricing adjustments while maintaining a unified pricing strategy that aligns with their business goals. Okay, so let's jump into the demo. Okay, so now we're in Dynamics 365, and before we get into the demo itself, I just want to touch on some of the setup. So the first area for setup really is the price attribute groups. There are two price attribute groups that make this scenario possible. There's the product price attribute group, which has a line level scope to the sales table. And the specific attribute that we're interested in is the item number. The second one that's being created is one called retail channels. This one has a sales order header scope, and the specific attribute is called retail channel ID, and that's basically going to be our relationship to our online store and brick and mortar store channels. Okay, so now let's hop over to the price group menu item. I'm going to go back to the pricing management module, and in here you'll see a menu item called all price groups, which is nested under during sales pricing. So once I click on this, it's going to open the price group form, and you can see I've set up a number of price groups here, but the two that we're interested in for this scenario is the online store pricing and the in-store pricing. So if I take a look here at the online store pricing, you can see that this has been set up, and I selected the price attribute group retail channels. And what happens when you do that is that the retail channel ID, the attribute associated with that price attribute group, will propagate down to this price group. You can see that's happened here. And for this one, since I only have a single online channel, I don't need to select enable multiple selections here. And what I've done is selected the Contoso online store, which is this retail channel ID here. And then in-store pricing, for this one, I have multiple brick and mortar store locations. So for here, I've selected enable multiple selections, and I've selected 3 brick and mortar channels, but obviously it can be as many as you need. For the demo, I'm actually just going to be using this one here, this end one, which is Boston. And one other thing to mention about price groups before we move on in this demo is that you can also add a ranking at the price group level, which basically means that if you have price groups, overlapping price groups, you can determine which one of those price groups has priority. For this specific business scenario, they aren't competing or overlapping, and so it actually doesn't matter in this case. Okay, let's hand over to Yuki now for price determination.
Thanks, Liam. Hello, everyone. Now let's look into some of the key concepts in price determination. The first step in the price calculation process is to determine the price of an item before any adjustments, discounts, or charges. The price can be derived from multiple sources, such as the sales price on a trade agreement, calculated as an item-based price, the activated standard item cost, or the base sales price of the released product. The price is searched for in a set sequence starting from the sales trade agreement price. When a price is found, the search stops and that value is applied. If no price is found, the price is 0. The release product base sales price is the only price that does not require price component code setup to be applied. In this demo, we'll explore how Contoso Entertainment System, CES, has applied a channel-specific pricing strategy using unified pricing and price groups. We are recapping the scenario introduced by Liam in the previous demo, where he explained the setup of price groups. To summarize, CES uses price groups to manage channel-specific pricing for their 52 inches LCD HD TV. For their online store, the TV is priced at $900, reflecting the lower operational costs of e-commerce. In contrast, for their in-store channel, it is priced at $950, accounting for higher costs and the personalized service of physical retail. Using unified pricing and price groups, CES ensures consistent pricing logic while allowing for quick adjustments across channels without modifying trade agreements or discount setups. This approach aligns pricing with their business goals while protecting margins across all touchpoints. Now that we have configured our price attributes and price groups, let's move on to creating our channel-specific pricing. For this demo, I'm going to create 2 trade agreement journals, one for the online store and another one for the physical stores. Let's start by navigating to the Trade Agreement Journals menu item, which can be accessed from the Pricing Management module. First, we'll create a trade agreement for my online store. We'll create a new journal, select the journal name. During this process, we can select our online store price group. You can choose to select the price group here at the journal header level, like we are selected, or when we drill down into the journal lines. Now open the journal lines. We'll create a new line. This process was followed in the price attributes demo earlier. Here we want to ensure that we tie the price to our HDTV product. Let's go ahead and select the product attribute group and choose the item number 3107 from our demo scenario. Now we'll add this line and set the price to $900 for our online store. We go ahead and validate and then post this journal. Now we have a trade agreement journal line that links item 3107 to the online store price group. Let's go ahead and repeat this process, but this time for the in-store price group. Just like we did before, create a new trade agreement journal, select the in-store price group, and open the journal lines. Again, we add a line, select the same HDTV product, item number 3107, and this time we'll set the price to $950. We then validate and post the job. With this, now we have successfully configured our channel-specific pricing $900 for the online store and $950 for the physical stores using unified pricing and price groups. The quickest way to get immediate feedback that a pricing setup is working is by using Price Simulator. We'll dive into more detail about this in a video later in the series, but for now, let's quickly validate our channel-specific pricing strategy. Let's head back to the Pricing Management module and select the Price Simulator. Here you can see I have created 2 price simulations, one for my physical stores and another for my online stores. For the online store, I have selected the appropriate channel and added the item as a sales line. You can see that a price of $900 has been calculated, which aligns perfectly with the setup. If I scroll down, you'll notice the applicable price group and the posted trade agreement journals where the price was recorded. Now in other simulation, I have selected the Boston store, which is part of a physical store price group, and you can see the same price of $950 calculated here. Remember, if I need to add or remove channels from this channel-specific strategy, I can easily do so within the price group. No changes to the underlying trade agreements are necessary. And lastly, let's hop over to a point of sale in our Boston store, where we wrap up the demo by confirming the in-store prices applied correctly. Here at the POS, we search the product 3107. Here you can see it shows a price of $950. Select the color, add this to a cart, and see the final calculated price. This concludes our demo of channel-specific pricing, and now let us head back to our presentation. Now let us talk about attributes-based pricing using unified pricing concepts. Let's see a demo of this scenario where Deborah Garcia, who is the sales manager of Contoso Entertainment System, wants the sales price of speakers belonging to Techwear brand to be priced at $2,000 for all Air Hotel Group customers where the speakers need to be delivered by truck. As you can see, we have two product attributes, brand with the value Techwear and product category with value speakers, one customer attribute, customer group with value Air Hotel, one order attribute, mode of delivery with the value truck. When a sales order is created with these attributes, we should have a price of $2,000. So what we'll be doing in Dynamics 365 pricing management? Create a trade agreement journal with product attribute, Techwear brand and speaker category, plus customer attribute, Air Hotel customer group, plus order attribute, from mode of delivery for $2,000. When sale order is created and the attributes match with the values in the trade agreement journal, the sales price should be $2,000. In trade agreement journal, we can specify the header attribute values and line attribute values that we would like to use and the corresponding price. In our demo, we want the price to be determined based on mode of delivery truck and customer group Air Hotel in the header and category speakers with brand Techwear in the lines. You can also preview the matching results subsequently. In the trade agreement journal, you can specify the effective day and the price of $2,000 and post the journal. This journal will be applied only if the attribute values in the sales order header and sales order line matches the values selected in the trade agreement journal. Now let's go ahead and create a new sales order, specify the attribute values matches the trade agreement journal that he just posted and test this out. We select the customer Air Hotel New York belonging to Air Hotel customer group. As you can see, the method of delivery is truck. Now when you select the item Techwear, the price of $2,000 is defaulted from the trade agreement as Techwear belongs to the product category and brand that we have specified in the trade agreement. Additionally, you can also go to sales order line button and price details to view the trade agreement journal selected and the corresponding price. Now let us talk about margins and unified pricing management. Margin component price adjustments allow for adjustments to the price at the time of order or before discounts and charges are applied. Adjustments can be a set amount or a percentage and can be positive or negative. Adjustments can be driven based on order quantity or can compound with other price adjustments within the same price component code and across price component codes. For example, as a distributor to be profitable, I determine that I need to mark up the inventory cost of speakers by 30%. For televisions, 35% markup is required. Margin component price adjustments might be where you apply a tiered pricing strategy based on an amount or percentage across all items or categories of items, rather than maintain different individual prices for each item across each customer tier. Let's see a demo of the same scenario with a minor tweak. Deborah Garcia, who's the sales manager of Condoso Entertainment System, wants the sales price of speakers belonging to Techwear brand to be priced at $2,000 for all Air Hotel Group customers when the speaker needs to be delivered by truck. However, if the sale is made to all customers in the US West Coast region, an additional 5% margin adjustment needs to be applied for sale Air Hotel Group customers. So basically, only when the customer selected on the sales order is from the West Coast region, the margin adjustment should be applied. We'll be using the margin component price adjustment form to specify the region attribute that should be considered in the sales order. So what we'll be doing in Dynamics 365 Unified Pricing Management, we are going to create a margin price adjustment of 5% for product attribute, Techwear brand and speaker category, plus customer attribute, US West region, so that it is effective during the sales order creation. Where a sales order is created and the attributes match the values in the trade agreement journal that has been created previously, and the margin price adjustment, the sales price should be $2,100. We will be using the margin component price adjustment form to specify the region attribute that should be considered in the sales order. As you can see, in the header price attribute group, we can specify the value US West in the region attribute, and the preview matching results section identifies that the customers meet the criteria as Air Hotel LA. In the line price attribute group form, we can specify the product category and brand for which we would like the margin component price to be applied. Finally, we can specify the 5% adjustment we would like to make on the price and enable the record. So this adjustment will be applied only on the sales order if the attribute values in the sales order match the attribute values in the margin price adjustment. Let's create a new sales order, specify the attribute values and matches the margin price adjustment that we just enabled, and test this out. We select the customer Air Hotel Los Angeles belonging to the region US West Coast. As you can see, the method of delivery is truck. Now, when you select the item techwear, the price of $2,100 is defaulted and not $2,000. You can also go to the sales order line button and check the price details. You can view the trade agreement price of $2,000 followed by the margin price adjustment of 5% applied on the trade agreement price. In the calculation group field, you can notice that the base price is updated as $2,000 and the price adjustment of $100. Therefore, the net amount on the sales order is $2,100. Now my colleague Praveen will take you through the discounts in the unified pricing management.
Thank you, Yuki. Hello, everyone. Now let's talk about discounts. Many organizations require flexible discounting. Discounts might be planned and executed over the long term, such as contractual agreements with customers to drive more predictability and loyalty, both for the organization and their customers. Discounts can also be more short-term focused, such as weekly or holiday promotions, with specific goals to move product, reduce expenses, gain market share, create market buzz, and many other reasons. Unified pricing management provides a robust capability for managing and executing discounts. Now let's talk about discount types. With diverse needs and consumer demands across industries and business models, unified pricing management supports multiple types of discounts. Simple discounts allow for a simple amount or percentage applied to an item. For example, 10% discount on all speakers. Mix and match discounts will consider multiple lines on a sales order when determining the discount qualification and calculation. For example, buy 2 boxes of tea and receive 50% off the price of tea cup. Threshold discounts provide a means to apply a discount based on a minimum spend. For example, 10% discount on purchases over $100. Quantity discounts allow for discounts based on minimum quantities. For example, minimum 5 items apply 5% discount. Free items will automatically add 1 or more items to the sales order at no extra cost to the customer. For example, spend $500 and get a free coffee mug. Coupons are codes that are linked to discounts and used to add discounts to transactions. Fund is the collection of a discount amount. When any discount is applied, that gets deducted from the discount fund. Discount concurrency mode decides which discount compete on a transaction and which discounts can be compounded. Now we'll talk about discount concurrency control. When more than one discount is found for an item, the discount concurrency mode provides a set of rules for determining how these are applied. Exclusive discounts, as the name implies, cannot be combined with any other discounts. In the case where multiple exclusive discounts are found, the highest discount will be applied. Best price discounts will consider multiple discounts and ensure that the best price for the customer is applied. Compounded discounts allow for multiple discounts to be combined, and you can also define how the compounding applies. Is it based on the original price or the already compounded amount? Always apply discount ensure that the discount will always be applied, irrespective of other discounts applied. For this reason, these discounts are always applied last in the sequence. Price attribute combination rank discounts don't compete based on the price, but rather based on which discounts has the highest rank within a price component code. Where there are multiple discounts at the same price rank, all are applied. Now, I'll show you a demo of simple discount. That scenario is Kevin Cook, who is a sales manager, wants to create a special discount for a new year period to increase TV and soundbar sales. He plans to give 5% off on all TVs, a special price of $1,299 for a techwear brand of TV, which is 45 inches, and a $10 discount on all sound bars. To achieve this, I'll go to pricing management module and I'll go to discount. And here I can see all the discounts that I talked about earlier. I'll click on discounts. And here to create a new discount, I'll click on new and create a new discount. I'll enter the name of the discount. And I can see the status is disabled at the moment. We will enable it at the end of the demo. The currency is USD. The discount concurrency mode is exclusive. And in the price component code, price component is discount, and price component code, we will select promotional discount from the drop down. In the price attribute group, we can see it's showing all, which means that the discount will be applied for all customers. Now I'll click on header price attribute group to see what I have selected in group type. I had two options, group and all. All means that I'll be applying this discount to all customers. So I'll select all for this demo and click OK. I'll now go to a validation period and I have two options, standard and advanced. Standard means you can define the dates. And in the advanced, you can define a discount period number, which is the number of days or number of hours. For this demo, I'll use standard. And I'll enter the start date and end date of this. Okay. Now I'll click on lines to add my promotion. And if I click on line, I can see all products in the price attribute group combination. And when I select all products, it's going to give me the list of all the items which are available. But for this demo, I want to apply this promotion only for a particular category, which is television. So I'll go to category and select the category, which is television from home video. And now I can see in the preview matching results, the list of all the televisions which are available. From this list, I want to exclude the particular TV, which is TechWare TV 55 inches, because I want to give a special discount later on. So I'll exclude this line and I'll click on OK. I'll enter the unit of measure. And in the calculation type, I have three options, percentage off, amount off, or unit price. I'm going to select percentage off and enter 5% off for all TVs. Now I'm going to enter my second line, which is a special price for TechWare TV. So this time I'm going to enter the item code for the TV directly because it's only for one TV. And I can see in the preview matching results, it's showing only one results. And I'll enter the unit of measure again. And in the calculation type, this time I'm going to select unit price and enter the special price, which is $12.99. I'll enter my third line, which is for sound bars. And this time I will select the category again from the home audio, and I'll select sound bar. And there's only one sound bar in the preview matching results. Now I'll go to calculation type, select amount off, and I'll enter $10 off on all sound bars. Now I'll enable the status. And now to validate this promotion, I have two options. One is to use the price simulator. The second option is to create a sales order. I have a third option as well to enter transaction and POS system. But for this particular demo, I'll create a new sales order to demonstrate this. So I'll go to sales order now. And I'll create a new sales order. I'll select my customer, which is Air Hotel California. Click OK. And now I will enter my lines. The first line will be for televisions. And as soon as I select one of the televisions, I can see the discount is applied already. And to check the details of the price, I can go to sales order line and price details. Here, if I scroll down, I can see the percentage of discount which is applied and the amount of discount which is applied. And I will enter my second line, which is for special price for a TechWare television. And I can see that the price is already calculated, which is $12.99. I can now test my third line, which is for sound bars. And I can see $10 is off on the tech sound bar. And that completes this demonstration. For the next demo, let's see how we can reward loyal customers through Loyalty Rewards program, offering exclusive discounts on HDTVs. The offer is relatively simple, where all members receive 10% off. For instance, Karen, who is a Contoso Reward member, is eligible for 10% off on the HDTV, bringing the price down from $1,000 to $900. Let's start in our all price groups form from the pricing management module. Here, I have created a price group that specifically manages our loyalty program promotions. I have linked this price group to a loyalty program attribute, allowing all members to receive the discount. On this price group, we can see the related price component. Under the discount tab, we can see our 10% discount offer for the loyalty program. Let's click into the discount to explore further. First, you'll see that the discount is associated with our price group. We have a simple 10% discount for the HDTV. The discount is enabled and active. Let's validate that the promotion is correctly applied using the price simulator. I'll go to price simulator. Here, I've created a simulation by selecting the loyalty program, a loyalty customer member, and the HDTV as a sales line. You can see offer code has been applied, meaning the customer received 10% off the TV. You can also see applicable price group and associated discount that made the promotion possible. This completes this demo. Now let's talk about other pricing management features. There are many other features introduced in pricing management. So here's a quick summary. When running a promotion, a budget is often used to support the cost relative to anticipated sales. Unified pricing management provides discount budget control capabilities, allowing organizations to better plan and control discount expenditures. Expenditures can be controlled on per order basis by setting the maximum discount amount or quantity, or across all orders using a fund. The price discount claim capability provides a means for vendors and manufacturers to fund the cost of discounts and promotions to customers. The distributor or retailer can then claim back the expenses. The claimable discount can be the full discount amount or a portion of it. Discount exclusion can be used in scenarios where a discount might have broad applicability, except for certain segments or customers. Discount exclusions makes it easier to manage by exceptions. Now I will invite Manekse to talk about charges. Thank you.
Thanks, Praveen. Hello, everyone. Yes, we will talk about charges first. Charges are the loss component that can influence what customer pays for the sales order. The charges capability in unified pricing management builds upon what we have currently available in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management and Commerce by introducing attributes from and to dates and combination rank working in conjunction with the predefined pricing structures. Charges can be a fixed amount, percentage, or unit base. They can be positive or negative and configured to automatically apply at the time of the order completion. Charges can be applied at the order header level or order line level. They can also be tiered based on the order total amount. Here are some attributes of different types of charges. Delivery charges based on the mode of delivery. For example, If the customer wants expedited delivery for their order, they will be charged an additional fee. Charges based on the method of payment. For example, if the customer pays via credit card, they will be charged a merchant fee. Miscellaneous charges can be defined based on specific conditions such as order type, product category, customer group, or any custom criteria. Some examples like special packaging fees, handling charges for delicate items, or regularity fees. These examples can be used as price attributes to set up auto charges in unified pricing management. Now I will show you a quick demo with the tiered header charge with attribute exclusion. Contosa Entertainment System has a strategy to drive further enrollment in their loyalty program. And as part of this offering, loyalty customers free shipping on all items, except loyalty customers, like order total amount up to $10, will be applied $10 shipping charge. Now let's go to the system. Before setting auto charges, I want to show you some configurations under pricing management module. We have price component code setup form. I will go to details for auto charges to check attribute groups. In here, I've got CS, hierarchy header, and line attribute group. For this demo, I will use mode of delivery on the header and customer group, that is where loyalty customer group is. Now we are ready to go to the auto charges form under price management module to set up a header charge. Clicking new, then I am selecting auto charges on the price component code and description as shipping, and I'm saving it. And clicking header price attribute group at the top, selecting group type as group, and CS price hierarchy on the price attribute group. You're seeing all mode of deliveries in the mode of delivery field here in the value. I will exclude in-store pickup, which is 60 in our example. You can use exclamation mark to exclude value. And according to our scenario, in the customer group field, I will exclude loyalty. Now I'm selecting loyalty from the drop-down list. Either put exclamation mark or click exclude button, so it will exclude from the list. Then I click OK. Then I go to the adding a charge line as freight. Since the company is offering free shipping over $10, from $0 to $10, shipping fee is $10. So I'm putting 100 here to amount, and the charges will be $10. I'm not going to set any validation period. It means that it will be valid at any time. I'm clicking save, and I go and create the sales order now. Let's go to the all sales order form, which is under accounts receivable or sales management module. So now I'm going to purposely choose a customer who I know isn't a loyalty customer. In our example, it is Air Hotel California. And now I'm going to click OK and then check the mode of delivery on the header level. And we can see that under the delivery tab, there was none selected. I'm going to choose truck in our example. Then I will go to the lines tab and I will create a line. And again, it is purposely under the threshold what we had, $100 that I set. So I should be charged for shipping now. So this price, you see it's under 100, then it will be charged. I can go and complete the order and charges will apply automatically, or I can click tiered charges to calculate the charge. And it does the calculation for me. I go to the maintain charges, and then we see that it is applied as a freight charge of $10, which was as I was expecting. Now, what if I go over that limit? So let's buy a few of these items. Then I've pushed over $100 in the total amount. I will calculate the two charges again. Clicking tier charges. And as we see that there are no longer any charges applied, which is expected according to our setting. And as you see, there is nothing also in the maintain charges. So now I go and create another order. This time, I will show you how that works for a loyalty customer. Clicking new sales order, and this time I will select a loyalty customer, which is Eve Whitehead in our example. Now I will click OK. Then I will set the mode of delivery on the header level as truck, and I will use the same information as I did previously. So let's choose truck in here and then go to the lines, and I will add the same item, and then we will see that no charges will apply in this customer. So I click again tier charges, and we see that there will be no charges found. If we go into the maintain charges, we shouldn't see a charge there either. That concludes the demonstration of charges. Rebates. Rebates process in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management enables you to define rebate deals and perform accounting for rebates based on the given validity period. Rebate management capability in Unified Pricing Management builds upon what has been already available in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management by introducing rebates based on price attribute. It overcomes the constraints imposed by the ability to only select items or groups, or all items in earlier version of rebate management. Some of the existing capability includes price attribute-based customer rebate on sales, cross-company rebates, calculation per invoice, period, and agreement lifetime, calculation based on sales order, deliveries, and paid invoices, different types of rebates such as value-based, quantity-based, and lump sum rebates, as well as varying calculation and settlement methods. Now let's demonstrate a quantity-based customer rebate scenario. Incontest Entertainment System has a strategy to start increasing sales and reducing on-hand inventory for some specific brands. They have chosen a certain group of customers to offer a deal to achieve their goal. Air Hotel customer group will be eligible for quantity-based rebates for all techwear purchases. When a sales order line quantity is under 55, 10% deduction. If it is above 56 till 100, 20% deduction will be claimed in the process for the customer. Let's go to the system to demonstrate this scenario. Before I start with the rebate management process, I would like to show you some setup needed in rebates pricing. Go to the pricing management module and open price component code setup form and go to the rebates details. And you will see the price component code with attribute groups, what is defined for rebate as a header and line. In our example, I will use customer group for header price attribute group. And also I will use product brands as a line price attribute group. In the last section, I say the price attribute group combination where the system generates automatically where I will use the rebate creation. Now let's go to the rebate management form and create a customer rebate deal. Clicking new and copying one description first and then adding to the new rebate deals and changing the numbering and then selecting as just remain as standard rebate type, and my company is USMF. In the agreement type, I will use sales order, and the posting profile is customer deduction. Currency is USD, and I am putting the validation period of the rebate calculation. Then I click OK, and we will go to the details of the line now. I will add a line. I will select price attribute combination first. Then I will use customer group on the header attribute. So selecting the group, and then the customer group as Hair Hotel customer group. And for the line, I will select also the product. And you see that we have enabled multiple selection options here. So you can use multiple options in the selection. For the line price attribute, as I said, we will use brand as a tag where. Then I click OK. I go to the management details. I will use the calculation method as cumulative in the base quantity in transaction type is order, and the policy for the deduction is no check. And the posting profile is customer deduction. And the dates, on the dates tab, I will use exactly the dates, what I entered at the header level. And I will use a daily calculation for rebates. Like putting 1 and claiming per 1 day. Switching lines tab, I will enter the threshold on our scenario. If the quantity is between 0 to 55, then 10% customer deduction. If it is between 56 to 100, then it will be 20% customer deduction. Now I save, and then I will click workflow to submit it. And once the workflow is get submitted and approved, so the status will get completed. As you see in the screen, it is active and the approval status submitted. And now I will refresh again, and we will see that the status will get active and it will be completed. Now it is ready to process sales order. Let's go again all sales order form to create sales order. In our scenario, our customer group is a hotel. So I will use a customer which is assigned to that customer group. So in our example, it is a hotel California, and I will specify the warehouse as 25 and clicking OK. Then I will add items where they are included in our rebate management deal. The first item is soundbar, and I will use quantity as 40. And I will add the second item with the quantity as 10. And the third item is again another tagware item with the quantity 60 this time, adding a line. And then for this line, I will enter the price manually, which will be 1,000. The first and the third item are met our rebate management deal conditions, but not the second one. Let's check price details for each line, where we have a tab which shows rebates, possible rebates option in here. So you see the calculation based on the quantity and the gross amount for the third item, which has been calculated already. And if you go to the second one, as I said, since this is not met the condition on the deal, you will see the zero amount for this item on the price details for the possible rebate amount. And the first one is also included in our list. So you will see the price for the rebate total for this item. So if we check this, the amount has been calculated. Now I will complete the order. Then I will go to the rebate management deal form for the customer, and I will calculate the rebate for the sales order. Let's go to the rebate management and customer rebate, and clicking process as rebate management and selecting the validity period. Then I go to the transaction, and as we see that it has been calculated for the two items as we've seen in the possible rebates tab. So they're all calculated. We can process it, and then we can have the credit to the customer. And with this, I will hand it over to the next presenter. Over to you, Tommy.
Thank you, Maneksha. That was a great demonstration. In this section, we will spend a few minutes on the unified pricing management overall high-level architecture and some of the capabilities that comes as part of the Commerce API. When looking at the overall architecture, you will see that we have the unified pricing engine represented for both the price calculations done in supply chain management and in commerce. And this is perhaps the key takeaway from this overview, the fact that the same business logic is utilized in both scenarios because it is built on the same runtime. And this is the runtime that includes the collectible portable.net libraries, and they are employing the same attribute-based pricing calculation for prices. This capability will be utilized when sales orders are created by back office or call center users. And there are also capabilities available for the scenarios when orders are created through customer engagement apps or third-party apps. For customers using the Dynamics 365 Commerce, the same engine is employed for in-store users operating point of sales, as well as any external apps or services connecting to the commerce scale units. For scenarios where there are any needs for customizations or extensions, then this is also fully supported. How about when you want to integrate the unified pricing with third-party applications? Here, we would recommend taking advantage of the Commerce Scale Units and its pricing API. The capability opens for supporting various pricing scenarios at scale, and by allowing third-party services like applications or point-of-sale systems to retrieve pricing information while reducing the dependency on the back-office environment. And here are just some examples of common scenarios that are made possible. There's the Get Active Prices, and this API gets a product's calculated price, including simple discounts. There is the Calculate Sales document. This API calculates prices and discounts for products at given quantities if they are bought together. Then there is the Get Available Promotions. This API, it gets the applicable discount for products in the cart. And there are more, and you can learn about these APIs by exploring the public documentation on Microsoft Learn. Next, we will go over some of the main things you should make sure to do and what are some of the things you should avoid. You want to make sure you plan your pricing and discount strategy. And you want to do this early so you can keep aligned with how you use Dynamics 365 over time. It is also important to make sure you have configured a system having independent number sequences for each discount type. You want to make sure that you use the price simulator to test the discount give configurations and that you test this thoroughly before enabling the discounts. Performance. It's a very important topic, and this is not a one-time activity, but something that you should do multiple times during the implementation and throughout. It is also important that this is done on a mature and rich set of prepared or migrated data, and that this is executed before you go live or when you roll out new workloads. And in the category of cleanup routines, we have one for unified pricing as well. And you want to make sure that the discounts that are no longer valid expire accordingly. Make sure you reduce overlapping discounts to a minimum. Ideally, they should be avoided completely. Finally, don't create yourself both a maintenance problem and a potential performance issue by creating a lot of attributes. Keep things as simple as possible. And with these remarks, I will hand over to the next section to Sherry.
Hello, everyone. So we are starting from introducing the roadmap for the pricing management. So in the 2025 Wave 1, we were focusing on achieving the general availability of the unified pricing management. That could be 10.0.43. Additionally, we will deliver the feature to allow Price Manager to use the sales order line attribute as the price attribute to define the pricing rule. since we already supported the header attributes of the order. So this is a good supplementary to the sales order attributes on the line level. In 2025 Wave 2, we were focusing on the highly voted features, including the unit price support and enable catalogs as price attributes, which will benefit our commerce customers that can leverage the catalog to manage their B2B. Going forward, while we are on the roadmap towards the unified pricing engine for SCM and commerce, we will also provide the flexibility for customer to configure the price behavior to align their B2B or B2C purpose. For example, whether discount should be per line or per order. The mass price update expired price rule is also one of the topics that we heard a lot, which we will address in our roadmap. Most importantly, we embark on the Copilot feature. Starting from the price Copilot, empower the back office or headquarter price controller or price manager to make informed and contested decision on the price strategy and the effectiveness of the discounts. And later, we were more towards the pricing optimizations. So we will and have continue to recruit customers and partners to validate our Copilot features. Yeah, thanks.
So we have some additional resources available, so you can find some information on our YAML. So I would encourage all of you to join the YAML. There are already some documentation on the learns and some architecture inside on the blogs. And we already published a lot of, I would say, short videos. And we continue, I would say, to enhance these, I would say, videos and to publish some new tech talk in the future. So let's jump to the question. We are 5 minutes, but we can extend it a bit. So if you have some last questions, so please put them in the Q&A session, and we'll, I would say, bring into the. So what about the introduction of the price management in sales agreement blanket order?
The sales agreement. Yeah. So basically, currently we are supporting the sales agreement, but it's not the attribute, meaning that when you enter the order, as long as there's already sales agreement, then the price engine will not calculate, but using the sales agreement. But in the backlog, we definitely, as the unified pricing management, we will actually incorporate the sales agreement, meaning that will be attributed the sales agreements. But it is in our backlog.
So next question, will unified pricing works in combination with the product configuration model price engine? So if I were to understand, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, we are not currently support the product configuration model, but definitely we are actually collecting the feedback, like how many customers that using this functionality and the required integration with the product configuration model. Yeah. So, but another point is that, as I just mentioned, we are actually as the first step that we are delivering the attributes based on the sales order lines. So it's just a simple version of that if you wanted to further differentiate the product with the lines attributes. But definitely we will do some research and then also looking at the YAML vote or idea portal vote for the product configuration model integration. Yeah.
So yes, as I would say, Sherry say, I would encourage you to, I would say, create an idea on the portal and vote for it and publish on the YAML forum. Next question: will unified pricing works in? No, sorry. So it was the previous one. I have a question about the version of the GA. So yes, I would say we plan to release the GA in 10.43. Just a plan, but we plan to publish it in 10.43.
Yeah. We have also published the release note, updated general availability version as 10.0.43. Yeah.
And also, two new questions. If there are functionality that allows commission based on sales order attribute search as sales taker, we don't have this in the roadmap as of now, but as Sherry said, so create an ID on the ID portals, and we'll evaluate in the future. Next question, is there a roadmap available for integration of GRYC? You mentioned before that you are still working on some difficulties. Is there a list of functions that already work with C? So it's a very good question. So it's a work that we are working on this topic at this moment. So you can use C and FNO, and you can use unified pricing. But as of now, we have some limitations. Some non-limitation are price tree for sure, some sales order header attributes, but the list is not complete. And we are working on that to publish that into the Learn portal and to, in the future, close the gap. Sherry, any comment on that?
Well, I totally agree with Matthew mentioned that we are actually, so for the price trees or those all the attributes, we are actually testing the gap. And then once we having found the gap, we are working on that. Yeah.
I missed the first 20 minutes, okay? Can we still create user-defined customer and product attribute for use in the price and promotion determination? And create user-defined, yes, you can define, I would say, product attribute and sales order attribute, not customer attribute, but sales order attribute. So for, again, a question on sales agreement. So we don't have any clear roadmap on this one. So now it's not on the short-term roadmap. So we'll evaluate based on the number of customers and the medium-term roadmap. Next question, what are the AI Copilot capabilities in the roadmap? So I think Sherry share in the Yammer forum, I will say some question about what feature you want. So we are thinking about all the feature, but no specific one at this stage, at least on my side, but Sherry, you can perhaps comment on that.
Yeah, definitely. We are posting the questions. So for those Copilot and AI functionalities, we are actually working on, as I just mentioned in the presentations, that it is starting from helping the price managers to monitor the discounts effective performance, and then towards the pricing optimization. So we are actually if you interested in this topic, please either leave the message in the Yammer or contact us, and then we can see whether we can arrange some meetings together on that. Yeah.
Thanks, Sherry. Next question, is there a limit on the number of attributes or customer, product, or sales order? So we don't have, I would say, strong limitation, but we don't recommend to have too many attributes because it will slow down the price calculation and can cause some performance issue. Because as you can imagine, if you have, 20 attributes, you have to search into 20 attributes. So it will slow down a little bit the performance. So we'll try to have some simple price attribute with few attributes, 3, 4, 5, not more. And then have several price attributes go. So we have a question. There was don't related to creating overlapping discount. Doesn't that this mean to not create discount which will compound? So I will say no, but if it's more, to avoid to have some, multiple price at the same time for the same items. It's more for the pricing. Don't see other question. So I think we'll close this call if we don't have any other question. We are happy to have you on this, Unified Tech Talk. So please, send your comment in the forums.